our affirmation journey. And if you haven't already checked out your affirmation for today, I'll give you another. And it's going to be surrender, release, let go, and adjust as much as you need. Okay. So we're very transparent here at Serenity's Place. Just so you guys know, I am Coach CB, and I am sitting here. I am lying in bed. I had a very, very beautiful, productive day. And I was like, dang, I know I didn't forgot to record my video for today. So you know what? Let's go ahead, pull out the camera right here, right now. It is literally 11:21 p.m. I have had a day of I went to the gym. I got an oil change, all types of stuff. I have been a couple clients today. I went and checked out a new space. As we discussed previously, I definitely did release my day spa back in 2023, which was a part of my surrender, right? So, day one is all about surrendering, letting go, and just learning to really go with the flow. So this is kind of perfect. Sometimes you have to surrender even to just like your expectations of things, or like, oh, I'm gonna do this at this time and that's what's gonna happen. And honestly, today it's 11:22. I just caught it. Honestly, the way today unfolded was not as planned or as anticipated. Things kind of ended up here, a little bit there. But surrendering to flow and allowing things to just pace themselves out and sometimes just unravel, it really can be the best thing that you've ever done. There's been lots of situations of surrender for me, especially within the last few years. And some of that is how I got to this journey of wanting to help others and utilizing my voice to uplift and encourage positive change. So, and I do that in a lot of different ways, but I had to surrender to the idea of what I thought that should look. For a long time, I thought that surrendering meant like letting go and releasing, and I would be like, "What is it that I'm supposed to be surrendering? What is it I'm supposed to be releasing?" I would get so frustrated, right? I'd be like, "What in the world do you want from me?" you know? And I've had that breakdown too. I've quite literally had that breakdown where I'm actually right now lying in the bed that I broke, basically having that breakdown actually. And it finally broke completely the other day. And I was like, dang it, I gotta get a new bed. Urgh. But it's okay because I've been wanting a new bed frame since I cracked it the last time. Let's rewind. So how did we get here? So I was dating someone. Uh, was 20. I had my spot, so 2023. I wasn't actually dating him in 2023. I was actually, well, it's called recovering from a emotionally unavailable person. We're not gonna say what we want to say. It starts with a but we're not gonna say that. We're not gonna say that because I'm not a doctor and it's not my job. I'm not a therapist. But I was experiencing a very interesting relationship that I was in, and I was also going through a lot of trauma and drama within my day spa. There were At a time, I used to call it like, oh, well, I should have picked better people. Or if anyone would ask what was going on, that's what I would say. I would say, well, I should have made better choices. And in my mind, that was my version of taking an accountability. Which, sure, yeah, I should have grabbed up and picked better employees or vetted them a little bit better. I opened during COVID, and family and friends is for the most part who I hired, people who I knew needed help and assistance, as well as people who, I wanted to help. So I was actually telling my client. He's been with me with so long. The client I had that came today, he's a very cool guy. He's in a transitional period of his life right now. And I was telling him, I was like, honestly, I had to go ahead and own up to it and really surrender that control that I was holding on to, where I kept putting me as the problem, saying like, oh, I should have and I should have. And yeah, take accountability. But at the end of the day, people were manipulating and using you. And you don't want to feel like someone used you, especially someone that you call a friend or someone that you call family. And because you don't want to feel used and manipulated and all of these things, you are now taking on all of the responsibility. So, why am I telling you this? Well, for one, so you can know more about where I am in my journey. Today, I actually looked at a space. It's like a suite. Me and this tonight. Is my thing tonight. Those are the last ones. No. Yeah. So, oh yeah. See, no more. We're gonna now. So I went and looked at this place today. It's a suite, and it was really nice. And it actually will give me the opportunity to even teach yoga. You know, actually have consistent classes in the spring and the summer, and that's something that I've been asking for and looking for. So if that ends up being a route that we go, that's pretty cool. I appreciate that. However, I had to get to a point where even the thought of that is okay. You know, I have signed and done like 1099s at places. I haven't been I'm on a W-2 right now working somewhere that truly it's not it's not going to be a long I know it's not going to be a long term thing, just for the sake of my values, and how I choose to do my business when it comes to spa. I prefer more holistic, more hands-on, more depth, to my work. Like, I really like to engage with my clients. I really like to put my all into it, and it's very hard to put your all into something if you have to work yourself into the ground. um, So I had to surrender the idea of what it would look like when I got back into a space of healing and a space of working for others or working for myself. What does that look like to me? I had to surrender my expectations of how fast it will grow, based on what it did before. Because you have to think, before I basically got out of, well, I had, I hate just telling people, well, I got out of school and I opened a spa. I was already working at different locations in spas, as well as I had been doing like makeup previously or prior to, for a really long time. So when I transitioned and started doing massage therapy, it was more so because I didn't know I was good at it. I actually honestly used to hate to be touched, hugged, or caressed, or anything. So I didn't think I'd be very good at it. But when I was in aesthetic school, esthetician school, I found out I was pretty good at it. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I didn't think much of it then, but I began working for someone, was it a consignment or whatever, contract working. And she taught me some techniques, and she was like, yeah, you can do, massages. Just help us out with that. I'm like, all right, sure. And I noticed that for every one facial, I would book maybe 2 to 3 at the time massages. Now it's like for one facial, it's 3 to 4 massages. So releasing my expectations and really learning to go back with the flow. That was something that I had to get more accustomed to. Um, and really even reshaping how I was looking at surrendering. Because I'm like, well, surrender to what? What is it that I need to surrender to? Like, I'm not doing anything, right? But what I was doing was making myself feel bad. I was surrendering. I needed to surrender control of the outcome. I needed to release my expectations of things. There were a lot of growth. There was a lot of growth in people pleasing things that I had to So mindsets that I needed to surrender. There were, I was people pleasing. I was neglecting myself. I know I look pretty tired right now, but it's literally 11:30 at night when I am recording this. I was like, I'm gonna go to. No, wait a minute! I forgot that I didn't do that thing because I had moved it down on the schedule because I ended up having to add a few other things today that were unexpected. But I was like, all of those things actually added to this message. And I'm probably all over the place because I'm quite literally like, I don't want to make this message too long. And I'm also in the bed. But I wanted you guys to see that we are real, we are authentic, and sometimes you just have to surrender and come as you are. You just show up. And when you show up, however things the cards are going to lie, however whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen. Sometimes all you need to do is just show up. Just surrender your expectations, your outcome, to the control. Just surrender. Um, so yeah, today has been a day, and I definitely want us to get into a much better start and day tomorrow. So you guys may or may not see this same outfit tomorrow. I think I actually will communicate with you guys after my massage and facial tomorrow. Maybe I'll do this video at the place that I'm currently working at. I don't know. But anyway, that I need to surrender and let go of. No, I just started working there. However, in the past, I would stay at places way, way, way beyond my welcome. Like, I would find reasons and ways to accommodate. Whereas now I know that they just don't align with my values. So some expectations of me being there, I have to let that go. And yeah, it does create a stability or a version of stability for me. However, it's not going to give me any freedom. My time is the most important thing to me. So I'm definitely contemplating that as well as a few other endeavors and just being mindful as to just how I'm showing up in the world. This is how I'm choosing to show up here tonight. Woo woo. But yeah, no. So just making sure that I am showing up my true self, my authentic self, being patient with myself. That's kind of a place that I've been in. Because that girl who decided to break the bed out of impatience and anger and quite literally frustration of being tired and aggravated and just tired of being in the same predicaments. That girl, I had to surrender the mindset of that girl. That girl had a very victim mindset. That girl had a woe it's me. That girl took on a lot of times things that had nothing to do with her. She overcompensated for other people's downfalls. That girl allowed people to make her the bad guy when she was really just a voice of reason. And I had to surrender that idea, that person. I had to tell that person goodbye, as we just talked about yesterday. You have to release. Um, so yeah, it's actually kind of full circle that I'm actually sitting in the bed that I broke right now. Mattress is on the floor, and it's crazy because I had a whole bed just a week ago. But it's okay. And if we're talking about the story, because I know you're like, well, how did you break this bed? Well, I'll be completely honest with you. I was going through a terrible, odd, strange breakup of a situation, and I had really gotten my hopes up. My hopes were really, really high, and I was like, okay, this is the one. And I don't even want to say it was the one necessarily. I know that now, but at the time, I just felt like I'm happy. That person was my happy place. That person was allowing me to mentally escape from a reality that I had created. I had hired all these people, I had taken on all of this work, I had taken on all of these tasks, and I had all of these expectations of me. I had did that. No one else did it. No one told me to do it. No one. It was me who decided that that is what I desired. Well, what I desired, sure, would help others, but did I have a cup that I could actually hold what I had desired? And did I think it through far enough? Like long term, what is it that you're desiring? Um, is this even the location or the space? My client today actually, he told me, he goes, "Well, I like the spot that you were in front of the high school." And I go, "Here's the thing. I never liked that spot. I got in that spot because it was the first one available and it wasn't that far away from me. There was nothing special about it to me. I just was there because it was convenient." And that's a mindset I had to shake. Doing things quickly, swiftly, fast because it's convenient. Rushing myself into things, places, with people, just like I had did in that relationship. Um, Literally, that relationship went so fast, and that was a common pattern with me. And I had to sit down. I had to really, in order to get rid of that mindset, in order to surrender those old habits, I had to really sit down and go, you know what? Look what you're doing. You're rushing yourself. You're forcing yourself. You are pushing yourself to do something that you don't need to do right now. You don't honestly need to do it. And if you paid closer attention, you'd see that this person isn't the one to do it with. So I had to overcome that. And let's just say I had a meltdown. I had a full fledged meltdown. I was frustrated. I was just over it. I was really over it. I literally was over it. I was getting up and I just punched the bed, which cracked the frame. And I had just actually gotten that bed and I hadn't even paid it off yet. And I was just like, I think I just had may have paid the last bill. And I was just like, here I am tearing up my own things. Here I am allowing someone to adjust my emotions, my feelings, to disrupt me as a whole. And all because of what? They're not a good person towards you 100% of the time. It's not the worst person. But just because someone isn't horrible doesn't mean that what they're doing is right. That person would do a lot of things that avoidance do. They will run, not communicate, disappear. Um, I'm very tired. But all in all, I have to say that I'm extremely proud of myself for surrendering to the divine and just allowing things to unfold. Even the lessons that I had to learn following that, which we'll talk about more throughout this journey of affirmations. Um, but a few of the key takeaways: being patient, learning to breathe, learning that no one should be able to have that much control over you. And the second that they have that much control over you, you need to remove yourself. Even if you just need to put that thing on the little back burner for a little bit, because no one should have any kind of authority over you. This is your life. You live it, you set the tone, you set the standards, you set the boundaries. No one should ever be able to rupture your soul or your spirit. And before you ever allow someone to take you to a version of you that's just not you, remind yourself that I can surrender, I can release, and I can let go. It's something that is within my wheelhouse, it is in my capacity, and there is nothing and no one stopping me. You let that go. Whatever it is, if it's a drug, if it's a person, if it's a place, it's a thing, it's just not for you. You're just gonna release that, and it may not be easy. It took me, after I broke up with him, I think I was single for about a year. I still communicated with him here and there. Fun fact, he was like not into me having cats, nor, which I love my animals. So when I got rid of them, he was happy about it. He thought, like later on he found out and he was like, "Oh well, I mean those are your emotional support animals, right? Ha ha ha." Which is like, this is the person that you fondled over. This person, this asshole. That's crazy. I'm sorry. No, not an asshole. This emotionally avoidant person. This person who doesn't have their own stuff together. You allow this person to come in and dictate things and to make you feel away when you were you were always better, and you're much better off without that person. I bet anything that can shake your emotions or anything like that, you gotta let it go. even if that's your own mindset, even if it's a state of pessimism, even if it's a victim mindset, even if it's the state of, well, I don't know, doubt. Why are you doubting yourself? Don't doubt yourself. If you got the vision, you got the plan, just write it down. Write it down and take your time with it. And I bet you come up with something better. I bet. I bet you put it together. I bet everything will fall into place. I bet that you didn't even know you had it in you to surrender, let go, and release the old version of you. I bet you didn't have any idea that you could just walk away from the old lifestyle, other people's expectations of you, your expectations of you. I bet you didn't even know. You don't know just how strong you really are and how resilient you are and how no one and nothing can really stop you from being who you said you were. So definitely takes a lot of strength. It definitely takes a lot of courage. A lot of people ask me how did I lose so much weight, and truth be told, it was balancing the mind. I had to calm me down because my nervous system was so shot to hell. I had so many different things going on to the point where I didn't have any choice but to break down. And I quite literally, I remember I was sitting there, I'm kicking the bed, I'm hitting it, I'm mad, I'm like, and I finally sit still and I'm like, I don't ever want to feel like this again. I said, what can I do to never, ever feel like this again? I don't ever, I can't do it. I don't want to feel like this ever again. What do I have to do to never feel like this again? I was like, I'll do it. Whatever it is, you just show me. And that was the first time in a long time I had been celibate again. And I kept to myself. I refused to engage. Even when I later ran into him, when I was actually dating a whole other guy, I definitely sabotaged some things, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about self sabotage. But yeah. So I basically, I saw him again, and I realized when I was looking at him, I said, "Wow, you were amazing." Because I was making you amazing. It was me. It was my projection onto you. Because he was so lazy. He really didn't. Me and him, night and day. Night and day. It was me and my projection onto that person. What I saw in him is the things that I saw within me. It had nothing to do with him, you know? And I had to surrender that ideal. I had to surrender that person that I envisioned. And when I did that, it closed the chapter out so beautifully for me. It really allowed me to see what illusions really look like, And then I got tested. I did. I ended up getting into another situation, and we'll talk more about that throughout the next few days. Um, but I left a lot quicker. I left a lot stronger, and I left with my sanity. Whereas before I was confused, conflicted. I thought I'd done something wrong. I'm blaming me, just like I did with the spa, just like I did in so many other things and aspects and friendships in my life. I'm blaming me. Why are you blaming you? It's nothing, you're not to blame, you know? So surrender those expectations, surrender that old mindset, that old person that you used to be. Let that person go. Let them go. It's going to take days, weeks, months, or years, but you let them go so that you can go on and be the best version of you, the person that's going to surprise you. You're going to look in that mirror and you're going to go, "Who the hell is that?" It's 11:44 on the timer, and I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. I do hope that you guys tune in and continue with the project, uh, the program. Definitely over on Skool. Comment on the board. Talk to me or tell me what you got going on. Tell me a story, whatever, of a time in which you had to surrender, whether it be an old habit, a mindset, a person, a place. It can be family, it can be love related, business. I've had to surrender businesses. I've had to surrender friendships. I have had to surrender my own mindset. Do you hear me? There is so much to surrender, but the second you do it, I promise you, life gets easier. You feel better. You look better. Cats can't tell now, but I'm really gorgeous. You look better. You feel better. You know, the people around you will see that you radiate so much stronger. Just like truly, let it go. Let it go. It's not an easy thing to do, but the second you just go, I choose me. I am worth. Phrase it like that the next time. Sometimes that helps too. Am I worth this? You know, when you phrase it like that, like if someone's treating you like that, like I'm worth them talking to me like this. I'm worth it. This is my worth. Like you screaming and yelling. This is what you think I'm worth. Like $5. Like no, you know, framing it like that in your mind. Like this is what I think I'm worth. This is what they think I'm worth. Child, listen. But give us a follow. There are some details down in the description. Like, share this video. Um, I really don't share it, but you can share it. This is for our private group chat. However, if you share it, tell a friend, tell them about the program. There are going to be way more programs to come. I'm currently working on the 12-month program, which is actually more like a workbook. However, I wanted to make it digital. That way, it was something that you can interact with as opposed to just having a journal or a notebook. So it's going to be really, really nice. There will be two different versions. There's going to be a 12-week version and a 12-month version because when I did, ooh, I'm so sorry, excuse me. When I did my soft launch, a lot of the ladies, well, some of the ladies said that, oh my God, it was just so fast. It went too fast. I needed more. And I wanted to be on the chakras a lot longer. And it like a lot came up. I was extremely emotional. I was purging things. I was letting people go. I needed more time and more energy. And I do private coaching sessions that you can add on to that program as well. Um, and then, you know, other people, they didn't want it to be so long. They wanted shorter. They thought the 12 weeks was a little bit better, which is the one that they were on. So definitely more things to come. Working on other challenges for you guys. That I have a 7-day yoga challenge that I'm working on. I'm excited about that one. I actually pre-recorded. I recorded it a while ago, so it's all recorded. It's just a matter of getting it uploaded and into the new platform that we're using here. So many great things are coming. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment on the school dashboard, thumbs up this video, all of that. Follow us on Instagram at _Serenity's Place. Follow me personally, Coach CB, at Cody Brianna, CodyBrianna. So, goodbye for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow, preferably in the rising and or after my massage session. Toodaloo.